Hello and welcome to the 2023 UCI BMX Racing World Cup with me, Matt Payne.
And me, Rich Eames.
We'll be bringing you all the action from round one in Sakarya in Turkey. But before we jump in, let's take a look where we are. So here in Sakarya, it's an amazing venue based here in Turkey. It's a vibrant city and it's an area that's great for biking. So whether you want to go out and ride on your mountain bike in amongst the mountains, whether you want to follow out on the trails, you want to head out, whatever your sport, it's a fantastic area to be in. Make sure you put it on your bucket list.
We're looking the track now. It's a balmy 20 degrees, 16km/h wind. It's been a little bit wet and rainy here today, Matt. Certainly not your typical Turkish weather.
It's definitely not your typical Turkish weather. I've had the pleasure of commentating on lots of different events here in Turkey, in Sakarya, including the Eliminator. It's been very, very, very hot normally and blazingly sunny, not today, and that is going to affect things for sure. Now, we have, of course, got lots of riders making the way here. Let's take us a little bit of a look back to the 2022 overall Cup winners, Rich.
Yep, the standings, it's certainly been very interesting with the standings, and that is from last year. The women under 23, Veronika Stariska taking that win. She came through quite well in the latter part of the season. Aiko Gomez in 2, Talia Burford in 3, Kanami Tano inside the top 4, Francesca Singolani in 5, Mackenzie Gayhart in 6, Maylene Sorensen, a rider to watch, in 7, and Molly Simpson of Canada in 8.
So some fantastic riders, and it's going to be really interesting, isn't it? We've got the men's under 23 standings up here, and the men's under 23 slightly different, isn't it? Because I think some changes.
Yeah, some changes. Leo Garoyan's moved up to elite men, so that's going to make things very interesting as everybody else comes through. Rico Berman took that second spot. Tatiana Louis-Hinsan rounding out the top 3, and Dylan Gober in there in 4, but certainly that category dominated by the French.
And then we move on to our elite riders. The women's dominated by the woman who seems to have taken away pretty much everything. I mean, she's absolutely flying. She may not be the queen, but surely she's the queen in waiting.
Yeah, Laura Smulders, 27 World Cup wins. I'm sure she'll be looking for 28 today.
Well, we will see. And of course, in the men's standings, the nation with more than anybody else in there, France, I mean, dominant.
The first of our riders to watch in 2023 is Emily Hutt of Great Britain. Capable of strong starts, aggressive in turns, and with bike handling skills as well, Emily looks set to make her mark in women under 23 this year. Leo Garoyan shook up the men under 23 class in 2022, culminating in an emotional World Championship win on home soil in France. He's making the move to elite men for 2023, so watch out for some fast French fireworks as the season progresses. Maylene Sorensen of Denmark dominated the women under 23 class in 2022 with wins in the European Cup Series and the World Championships. Now she has the best of the best to contend with in women elite. Will the wins continue? We'll soon find out. Cameron Wood of the USA had his first World Cup win in Bogota in 2022. Already making headlines in the USA BMX Pro Series this year, Cameron won't be backing down against the world's best in men elite as he looks to add more wins to his record. And that's our look at who to watch in 2023.
I've got to say, track is running really, really fast here. We're going to move on to our women's under 23 final. Your start list in front of you. Take us through these riders, Rich.
Real international blend in this women under 23 final. I'm looking forward to some superb racing. Certainly going to keep my eye on Michelle Vissing, and also from the outside as well, Zoe Hapker, capable of making things happen, and don't count out your 2 New Zealand riders as well. The final underway of the women under 23 here, round 1 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup. Who's going to lead it into the turn? It looks like the rider who was late to the gate, but she was first into turn number 1, Eliska Bartonkova. Mercado in there as well. Here comes Michelle Vissing and Tessa Martinez as they go in and out of turn number 2. That's Layla Walker in there in that second spot. Bartonkova under pressure now. Walker looking like she's getting her nose in front. In and out the final turn. Bartonkova over, dives underneath. Oh, takes the lead, takes the front wheel of Layla Walker. Oh my word, all action as they came out of that final turn. Meanwhile, Tessa Martinez almost steals the win from nowhere. Zoe Hapker in 2, Michelle Bissing in 3. But Layla Walker, what could have been until the front wheel disappeared.
In the men's under-23, it is a packed start list, and Steiner has looked very good all the way through, hasn't he? Is anybody going to challenge him?
I think he's going to have some serious pressure from Jason Nordam and Ulrike Biermann. Philipp Steiner's also posted the fastest lap of the day at 33.788, so he's certainly backing up those earlier laps, but he's got Hugo Marzlek to deal with as well. Spencer Cole right there in lane at number 5. The European champion out of France is Hugo Marzlek. The gate drops on the men, under 23 final. Rowley didn't get the start he wanted. Steiner on the inside. Serious pressure coming though from Rico Biermann of New Zealand. Biermann gets the whole shot. Marek Neusel dives underneath for the Czech Republic. So it's New Zealand, the Czech Republic going 1 and 2. Philipp Steiner's not out of it yet. He's in there in 3 for Switzerland. Jason Nordam pushing hard in forward under pressure from Hugo Marzlek of France. And as they come to the final turn, will it be another win for Rico Biermann? In and out the final corner. Drag racing down the final straight. Are New Zealand going to get it? Is Biermann going to pick up where he left off last year? Oh, I think he did. Rico Biermann taking the win. Marek Neusel in 2. Steiner couldn't quite complete the job, but ended up in 3. And Jason Nordam in 4.
It's a good race all the way to the finish. Tight first straight, but yeah, got it done.
Rico Biermann of New Zealand. There they are, traditional photographs for the media. And yeah, Rico leads the points going into round number 2. And look at the lineup. 4 Colombians in the first of the semi-finals for elite men. Diego Arboleda, Carlos Ramirez, Juan Esteban Naranjo Murillo, and Santiago Angel Suarez. Those are your 4 Colombian representatives. We've got Julian Schmidt, Isaac Kennedy, Joris Dode, and Arthur Pilard. Arboleda, Pilard and Dode, 1, 2, 3 out of the gate. Looks like the 2 Frenchmen are going to lead it in. Suarez is making his move from the outside. Arboleda diving underneath. He's up in there into 3 now. Looks like the rider in 4 is Julian Schmidt. So Julian Schmidt looking to make the main event. Where is Isaac Kennedy? He's back there in 5 at the minute, but looking for a way round. But it's Pilard and Dode, the French 1-2, going well. Here comes Isaac Kennedy. He's up into 4 now, but he's going to have pressure in that final corner. Trying to dive underneath. Looks like he's been swooped. Kennedy might be going out to the semi-final stage. It's Pilard, Dode, 1 and 2, Arboleda in 3, Carlos Ramirez in 4. But it's such a fine margin at the World Cup level. As we move on, semi-final number 2, Nick Kim and Roman Mayu, Leo Garayan, the 2022 world champion in under 23. We've got Simon Marcotte, Renaud Blanc, Ruben Gomez, Juan Camilo Ramirez, and on the outside for Great Britain, came through via the last chance qualifier. He's done it the hard way today, Quillan Isidore. Nick Kimmin on the outside in lane number 8. Can he make it count this time around? Marcotte in there as well. Quillan Isidore in the middle of the pack. Roman Mayu on the inside picking up the whole shot. He's in there in 1. So it is Mayu, Kimmin, Marcotte. Where is Quillan Isidore? He's on the inside. He's looking for a position. Can he get any moves made in that corner? It looks like he might have left himself a little bit too much to do. Who's in that 4th spot? It looks like Leo Garayan, I think, in the 4th position. So as they go in and out the final corner, Mayu, Kimmin, Marcotte. That's going to be your 1, 2, 3. Who's going to get the 4th sprint to the line? Oh, it was close, close, close. Garayan got it. Ramirez was on the back wheel all the way from the last jump to the finish line.
0.04 of a second between qualifying and not coming in and through there by being into the top 4 and not making it. So the UCI BMX World Cup racing continues with our women's elite, and this promises to be an absolute cracker.
Oh, I can't wait for this one. You've got European champions, Olympic champions, USA BMX champions, former winners in Turkey, you know, up and coming women elite riders. This is just going to be superb. You couldn't even begin to pick a winner out of this one, Matt. It's go, go, go in the Women Elite Final, round number 1 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup. Bethany Shriver's got the pole. Is Elise Willoughby going to get her in the turn? Not quite. So it's Shriver Willoughby, Clayson, Simpson, Pahon. That's your 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And Bethany Shriver of Great Britain is out front and in control. Has Elise Willoughby got anything for her as they come down that third straight? She's trying hard. There's literally half a bike length between them. Laura Smulders is back there in about 6. Molly Simpson on the inside looking for a top 4. But Bethany Shriver of Great Britain taking the win in round number 1 of the World Cup. The Olympic champion takes it. Zoe Clayson's in 2. Elise Willoughby rounding out the podium. Molly Simpson in there in 4. But Bethany Shriver, box ticked, job done.
Come with the moment, come with the rider. What a ride from that gate, straight the way down. I'm in charge, you're all following me.
Yeah, it was a pretty good race day. Track's running good. YOLO'd it, went in gate 1 in the final there and had a good start. And yeah, managed to hold it all the way, so yeah, I'm really happy.
That's it for the elite women. Now it's time for the men to take centre stage. Nick Kimman, Joris Dode, Simon Marquardt, the world champion, Leo Garoyan, the under-23 men world champion, Diego Arboleda, winner in round 1 of Glasgow last year, and also the little magician, Carlos Ramirez. As the gate dropped in the men elite final, there's enough watts to power a small city. And who's going to get the whole shot into turn number 1? Kimman coming across from the outside, but he's left a little bit too much room. And Roman Mayu is winding it up, and he's out there in the lead. Nick Kimman's trying to work his way in as well. Arboleda is there in 3. Joris Dode in 4. But Roman Mayu hanging on to it right now as they head down towards that final corner. He's looking good, he's in control. Arboleda might just be a bit too far away to make the move. So Roman Mayu, he did it last year in Papendal, he's done it this year in Turkey. Wire-to-wire win for the Frenchman. Joris Dode stealing that final position on the podium from Nick Kimman. But what a lap from Roman Mayu.
He was absolutely imperious and a great start here and almost saw a crash on that turn ramp on the way down. But this was all about getting into this corner and Mayu taking this out. He was never going to be challenged surely by getting behind.
Roman Mayu starting his World Cup season with a bang, ticking the box, getting the points. He'll be a very happy man tonight.
First race of the year, first big race of the year, and starting off with a win is it's pretty good. It's hard to do better, so I'm pretty happy right now.
So let's have a little bit of a think. We are going to be going on to round number 2.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see more of the same. We're going to see more thrills, more spills, more action, more moves in turns, and just the best that BMX racing can offer.
Really great racing. Let's take a look at the standings. So the women's under-23 Martinez taking a top spot, and the full 500 points. The points decreasing on the way down. And obviously this will be added to as we run through each of our 10 rounds until we get to our final round. Very disappointed Layla Walker down in 8th place after qualifying for those finals. Not happy.
No, she was very nearly there in the main event yesterday. We just had a little bit of an issue. Looking at men under 23, though, Rico Bierman leading out the standings. Hispanic Neusel, Czech Republic in 2nd. Steiner in 3rd. Jason Nordam rounding out the top 4. Hugo Marzalek in 5th. Skursbeck of Germany in 6th. Spencer Cole made his first World Cup main event yesterday, ended up 7th. And Gasparoli of Italy in 8th.
So the women's elite standings in front of you, and you can see the Beth Shriver up at the very top of the standings. Full points for her, running right the way down to 8th position. Laura Smulders in 6th. She looked great early on, and it seemed to fade off for her during the day.
Yeah, she's got World Cup 28 to win. I'm sure it'll come along soon. Just looking at the men elite standings, Roman Mayu leading the charge with Diego Arboleda in 2nd. Joris Dode rounding out the top 3. Nick Kimman, a solid start from him in 4th with the world champion Simon Marquardt in 5th. Ramirez of Colombia in 6th. Pilar in 7th. And Leo Garoyan, the 2022 world champion in under 23 in 8th. There's your start list for semi-final number 2. Pilar, Dode, Booty, Kennedy, Cameron Larson of the USA, the world champion, Simon Marquardt in there as well, Romain Meillet, the European Cup champion, and Juan Camilo Ramirez of Valencia of Colombia. We They'll go on the second semi-final of then Elite Pilard and Dode looking good, and coming across is Maye as well, so it's certainly some French flyers in this one. And Isaac Kennedy is in the middle of the pack there in about third or fourth spot at the moment. Bootsy on the outside, and the Colombian rider trying to dive underneath, and he's made the move. So the Colombian rider Ramirez Valencia is inside the top four. Where is Cedric Booty in the mix as well? But as they come out of the turn, it is Dode, Pilard, Kennedy. That's your 1, 2, 3. Who's going to get that fourth spot? Cedric Booty with the late charge. The Colombian held on to it. Yes, he did. Juan Ramirez Valencia of Colombia working his way in. Simon Marcotte out in 6. But looking at the replay here, Pilard got a good start, and he picked a different line to Joris Dode over that first jump. Dode keeping it on flat ground and building the speed. Isaac Kennedy was on the outside. Cedric Booty was in there in fourth at that spot and looking very, very good. But watch Valencia, he dived underneath in that second turn and made it stick all the way to the line. Marcotte was looking for a way through. France were going to go 1 and 2. Booty didn't quite have what it took. Kennedy in there in 3, but Juan Camilo Ramirez Valencia, he'll be stoked.
The finals are promised to be really explosive. It's going to be very interesting to see who's going to take this. Now, Tessa Martinez, we've said there is extra prize money available if you can get back-to-back wins in round 1 and round 2. So that is an added incentive, but everybody will want the points qualification for the world champs for the Olympics to stay on your squad. Really key.
Number 2 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup, the women under 23 final. Zoe Harker, is she going to be the first? No, it's Martinez, and single arm diving underneath. She's going to be able to pick off Tessa Martinez in the rest of this lap. Mackenzie Gayhart working her way into the top 3. The Colombians in there as well, inside the top 4. But it's France out from Martinez. Is she going to double up for rounds 1 and 2? Single arm, he's got one more chance to get her in the final turn. Don't count out the American. But Martinez looks like she's going to make 2 rounds and 2. Tessa Martinez takes it to the line. 2 wins out of 2 for Tessa Martinez, and that smile says it all, Matt.
Well, she couldn't quite believe it when she went through and took the win in round 1. A very different ride for her, and the confidence it's given her. What a ride. And of our podium riders yesterday, only Martinez are making the podium this time around. Hauke out in the final, so dropping down into 6th place. But another good point score in terms of those overall standings, which we'll bring in later on. But Martinez taking the win. So, women's under 23 done. Men's under 23 next, and we could have another double winner here.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. Rico Bierman, he's been in imperious form. He's been looking really good, but he's got Steiner, Russell, Radaeli, Cole, Marzalek, Materano, and Maurizio Molina to deal with. So by no means is it in the bag yet. There's another 45 seconds or so of serious work to be done.
45 seconds, which can make or break these riders.
The final of men under 23 is underway. Will it be Bierman, will it be Steiner, or will it be someone else in time? We're about to find out. Into the turn we go. Rico Bierman, how he will look through from 2. Marzalek's in there as well. And there's Callum Russell. Is he going to be able to hold it? Got a little bit out of control. Spencer Cole in there as well. But Callum Russell is very strict in the podium position right now. And riders have gone down behind. So it's Bierman into the final turn. Marzalek in there in 2. Callum Russell of Great Britain. He's going to hit the podium. But it's all about Rico Bierman. 2 from 2. 2 World Cup wins in succession. The European champion in that second spot, and Callum Russell on the podium.
I think he's got his breath back. I think he's going to be able to talk. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Yeah, it's always a good weekend when you double down. It's a good weekend. Got it done.
The man who's won round 1 and round 2 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup in Sakarya, Turkey. For New Zealand, it's Rico Bierman.
Now it's on to our elite riders.
Saya Sakakibara of Australia, Bethany Shriever of Great Britain, Laura Smulders, Molly Simpson in this one, Elise Willoughby, Lauren Reynolds, Sai Takayama, and of the USA, Delaney Vaughan. Gate number 2 for Great Britain, the European champion, the Olympic gold medalist Bethany Shriver. But on the 77 plate, gate number 1 for Australia. A superb day of racing. Is she going to finish it off in style? It's Saya Sakakibara. Here we go with the Women Elite Final. Is Saya Sakakibara going to be able to add a World Cup win to her account? But here comes Elise Willoughby and Bethany Shriver. Bethany gets the whole shot. Elise is right there behind her. Molly Simpson in there in 3. That's Laura Smulders in 4. Looks like Saya's been caught up in the pack. But Bethany Shriver, the winner of round 1, is she going to make it 2 from 2? She's got to hold off the attentions of Elise Willoughby, who's capable of making a dive on the inside in that final corner. But the Olympic gold medalist, Bethany Shriver of Great Britain, she's going to make it 2 from 2. Willoughby for the second spot. Who's going to get that third? Laura Smulders with a late charge. It's a photo finish with Molly Simpson, but Bethany Shriver in control. 2 wins from 2 in 2 World Cup rounds.
What a ride, absolutely powering away there. And Elise Willoughby going one better than round number 1. Let's watch that back.
Yes, Saya Sakakibara, I think she's going to be a bit disappointed with that start. She had the premium gate pick lane number 1. Elise Willoughby couldn't quite get across from the outside because she had Bethany Shriver to deal with. Molly Simpson was in a good position at this point, and Laura Smulders was working her way through, trying to creep up on the back of the front 3. Lauren Reynolds was in there in 5, but Beth, she was about 2 or 3 bike lanes clear at this point. She'd given herself enough time and room. Elise Willoughby couldn't make a move in that final corner, and there was Laura Smulders creeping up on Molly Simpson. Did she get that podium spot? We are waiting for the results to find out. I think she might have just nicked it though.
Yeah, it was so close, wasn't it? That's going to be a photo finish, but no photo finish needed.
Yeah, Beth Shriver taking the win, Elise Willoughby in 2, and Laura Smulders just sneaking up 7 1/1000ths of a second between Laura and Molly Simpson in 4th. It's literally a centimetre or 2.
Hey, I bet it's not even that. I bet it's not even the rubber on the tyre. That is so tight, and you can see what it means. Molly Simpson so close to the podium.
Again, had another good start. Just wanted to put some good laps down today, and I managed to do that. Had one sketchy one, but yeah, really happy with that. And thanks for everyone watching at home.
We've had 3 winners so far, and they've all been winners of round 1 as well.
Ooh, right, yeah, that's very true. So will we make it 2 from 2 from 4 from 4, so to speak? But yeah, Roman Mayhew's got some pressure on his shoulders, but he's got Joris Dode, Arthur Pilard, Sylvain Andre, Isaac Kennedy, Juan Camilo Ramirez Valencia, Mateo Carmona Garcia, and a certain Mr. Jamie O'Brink to deal with. So by no means is it a certainty, because in Men Elite there is no such thing as a certainty. The riders are go round 2, the Men Elite Final, heading down towards turn number 1. It's Dode and Mayhew battling for the whole shot. Here comes Sylvain Andre, but one of the Colombian riders has gone underneath. I've got a feeling it was Carmona Garcia, who's right there in the middle of the mix. And look at Jamie O'Brink, he's inside the top 5. But out front, Joris Dode, Roman Mayhew, French 1-2, Isaac Kennedy in there in 3, Colombia in 4. But look at Joris Dode, he's going to take the win in round number 2. It's gone to France. Mayhew was 1 position short, but Joris Dode, a shout of exultation as he crosses the line. What a lap from the World Cup veteran.
I tell you something, you said people mature like a fine wine here. That is absolutely vintage today. What a start.
Oh yeah, and he got slightly sideways as well out of the gate, but he was on the inside enough just to be able to hold on to it. And Carmona Garcia was diving in there. Sylvain Andre was on the outside. Jamie O'Brink got pushed high in that first turn, but still managed to work his way into the top 5 by turn number 2. Isaac Kennedy was looking comfortably in 3, but they were all over the back of him, looking for a way round, but it didn't matter to Joris Dode of France, twice world champion, and he's won another World Cup event here, and he's going to take the points back to Bordeaux with him.
Gotta say, if he comes from Bordeaux, you talk about people getting better with age. He knows all about that. It's perfect region.
Yeah, definitely does.
So let's hear from him now. Let's see his thoughts, and here's thoughts on that.
It was a good main event.
I had an okay start, but I was able to push through in the first straight and then did my lap like I had to do. So I'm happy about the weekend and happy about the win today.
All smiles. Those guys happy on the podium and certainly plotting for round number 3 in Papendal in the Netherlands.
It's been an absolute pleasure putting words to the action at this round of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup. Please do get in touch on social media. We love to see what you've been up to on your BMX, where you've been racing, what you've been doing. So in the meantime, guys, until our next round, stay safe. We'll see you again soon.
Goodbye.